Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to Ask to My Aunts. My name is Ayize Ma'at, and I'm normally doing these videos with my lovely and incredible wife, Iana Ma'at, but I'm flying solo today. She's laying the baby down right now. But check this out, y'all. I'm coming to y'all because I want to give y'all a quick tip when it comes to your relationship and just how you flow. It's extremely important to just tell the truth. You want to be honest in your relationship and tell the truth. I had a recent incident that occurred that, could have ended up pretty bad. And in all actuality, my wife, I could just hear it in the tone, through the phone that she wanted to whoop that ass, really and truthfully. And so let me just tell you what happened. So earlier this week, my wife, she went to the store to get some groceries and so I was on daddy duty. I mean, which I'm always on daddy duty because we got 5 little ones. But she was out the house. The kids were at school. Allende was upstairs, and he was taking a nap. And so, during the time period when he was taking a nap, I decided to do like a little quick business call. And you know how things go down when you make the decision to do something intentional. You always get interruptions. And so, probably about an hour in, I got an interruption. I started to hear him stir over the baby monitor. And, I'm getting kind of frantic because I'm trying to figure out, how do I end this call and, how do I tend to him. So while the call is still going on and I'm hearing him, whimper in the background, I come over to the kitchen and, I get some milk out of the refrigerator that my wife left for me, some breast milk, and I put it on the stove. So check this out, y'all. So I put the breast milk on the stove, and my intention is to heat the breast milk up while it's in the bottle liner. Yep, the bottle liner. And so I put the hot water in the stove. I mean, in the pot. Turn the pot on, and then I put the bottle liner with the breast milk inside of the pot. The water starts to boil. And so again, I finish my call. I'm hearing Allende cry upstairs, and the breast milk is heating up in the pot. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, cool, when I come back down, things will be straight. And so as I run upstairs, I'm being real quick to get upstairs and get to Allende. And when I get him, oh, excuse these stains, y'all. These are called daddy stains right here. Yeah, daddy stains. They I don't need no burp cloth. I just use my shoulder when it comes to burping a baby. He just throws all up on it, so I'm not tripping. This is daddy wear, daddy gear. And so I come back downstairs. I got a Yende in one arm. And I come over to the stove, and when I come over to the stove, this is what the milk that was in the liner looked like. It looked just like this. The liner was still in the pot, and it was all spilled over. So I had water in here, and so now the breast milk is mixed with the water. And so now I got to try to figure out, y'all, how do I resolve this issue? So what I do is I take the milk that was in the pot, mixed with the water, and I pour it into another bottle. And then I actually get another bottle of breast milk, and I go back over to the stove, and then I pour that into the pot, and I try to start to heat it up again while I got Allende in one arm. So he's crying, he's screaming. I'm like, we need to hurry up and get this thing going. So I step over to the family room for a second to change his diaper. And when I change his diaper, I come back into the kitchen. When I'm back into the kitchen, I go back over to the pot, and lo and behold, the liner with the second bottle of breast milk is looking like this, spilled over in the pot. So I'm like, damn, I just wasted 2 bottles of breast milk. And it was probably about 10 ounces total that I wasted. And so I'm trying to resolve this issue. I take the pot that has the water and the breast milk mix, and I pour it into another bottle. And then what I end up doing is there's an extra bottle of breast milk in the refrigerator. So I get that, and I don't go through the same flow. I actually mix some of the water that was actually already warm with the bottle of breast milk that was in the refrigerator, and I put it in the bottle, and I test it on my arm, of course, and it's all good. It's room temperature, and then I give it to Allende, and he's happy. And so this was my concern, y'all. This was the major dilemma. So I knew that I had essentially wasted 10 ounces of breast milk because now it's diluted with water. And I know how much time my wife spends when it comes to pumping to get the breast milk. And so she calls me, and she's checking up on Allende to see how he's doing, to see if he's still asleep. And I tell her, no, he's been awake, and I'm actually feeding him some breast milk. And so she was like, so how much are you feeding him? These are when the questions started to come out, y'all. How much are you feeding him? And so I say, he probably drank about like 2 or 3 ounces. And she was like, okay. And I said, but you know what, babe? I got to be real with you. I actually wasted about 8 ounces of breast milk, 8 to 10 ounces of breast milk because it spilled out in the water. It spilled out in the water when I was heating it up. And she was like, what? It spilled out in the water when you were heating it up? How much breast milk are we talking about spilled out? And so I could hear in her questioning, she's trying to size up the situation and see how much breast milk I've used and whether or not anything is salvageable, and if I've done what I'm supposed to do to make sure that Allende is fed, number one, but number two, am I wasting breast milk? And so when she's asking me these questions, I'm like, damn, I gotta come correct, because she's actually about to whip that ass, Joe. She really is. She's like, wondering whether or not I'm wasting her milk. And so after I said what I said, she said, Ayiza, I understand that you did the best that you could do. But breast milk is like liquid gold. You can't be wasting breast milk. It's like liquid gold. Do you know how long it takes me to get 10 ounces of breast milk? I'm like, yeah, baby, and I apologize. And so what I did was I poured it in another bottle, and I saved some of it. I was able to dilute it, and blah, say blah. And so she said, how much is now in the refrigerator? And so I told her we got like 2 full bottles in the refrigerator. It's diluted, but it's still in there. And he actually took the bottle well. He was drinking it even though it was diluted. And she was like, oh, okay. And I could just hear her thinking. And so my wife, she's the type of woman who, when she's thinking about something, she ain't gonna just sit there and think. She's gonna go through a process, do a research and that type of thing. So number one, I knew that she was upset and she was pissed off about the fact that I wasted, or I pretty much spilled the breast milk over. And even though I came up with a solution, at least what I thought was a solution, I knew that it was still a half-ass solution. It still wasn't good enough. And so later on that night, while we in bed doing our pillow talk, she shares with me something that she saw online. She stumbled across an article online because, again, she's a mommy, and she does that very well. Very, very well. She stumbled across an article when she was doing her research about cutting breast milk, and what she discovered is that when you cut the breast milk and you dilute it with water, there have been situations where babies have died because their brains get inundated with water. And so I was like, what? Are you serious? Because we mixed bottles with Asante, with all of our children. I don't know if it was this young, but we've mixed bottles before. But I'm saying all of that to say that, this isn't something that we hadn't done before, but based off of what my wife read, if you continue to dilute bottles filled with water and mix with breast milk, there's a possibility, because the enzyme balance is thrown off, that it could do something to the brain and then they end up passing away. And so I say it's critical, y'all, for us to make sure we're telling the truth and be honest. And of course, it's very difficult. And I really don't even lie to my wife. I keep it 100 with her. Even when I want to bend the truth a little bit, I still tell her the truth, because I just want her to be included in what my process is, and whatever the consequences are, I'll just deal with them regardless of what they are. So in this situation right here, I diluted the breast milk thinking that it was all good, but in all actuality, I put Allende at risk. And so that's a no-no. That's dangerous territory right there. So again, y'all, be truthful with your spouse, because in doing so, not only do you establish the trust in the relationship, but you also, you build that sense of connection in the relationship too, because they know that they can depend on you to be upfront and honest and be truthful about whatever is going on, even if you're coming up short. And so I came up short with the breast milk, spilling over, being diluted. My wife about to whoop that ass because she's counting ounces and her breast milk is like liquid gold. But at the end of the day, all ended up well. Allende is happy. He was happy. The missus is now happy. She's nursing him right now as we speak. And all is well. But